Hello everyone, this is Rana from Digital Fashion Week Singapore 2014. Welcome to our first Google Plus Hangout of the day. With me again is a great lineup. Let's start with Sheena, of course, everyone knows her, the winner of Asia's Next Top Model. And on my right is Pauline Ning, who's just finished showing her collection on the catwalk. And also Larry from menswear label Sundays. And Valerie is ex-Miss Singapore, and now she is a very popular fitness fanatic blogger. Correct? Okay. So first things first. Congratulations on the show, Pauline. Do you feel more relaxed?
Definitely more relaxed because everything is over with all the preparation work. So now all's good. Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind your collection this season?
For this collection, actually, it kind of set it off being inspired by Lux Sports. So as much as we are inspired by sportswear, what we are taking from it is actually the sportswear details. So you can see in sportswear you have a lot of intermix of different fabrications. So for us, as much as we're just taking the idea of interplay of fabrications. So that was the reason why just now you saw like mesh with sequins and organza as well. So we're kind of mixing all those different fabrications, and the colors was also because when you think of sportswear is energetic, is dynamic. So that's the reason why we have got our highlight colors, which is our orange and our pink.
What did you think of the collection, Sheena?
I really love it, especially Jordan's finale dress. I think that's one of the most amazing dresses on the runway.
Yeah, it looked really great. I love the way you progressed. You had a bit of color, but it was mostly white color, and then you ended with black. Usually it's the opposite. What was behind that?
Well, it's kind of like, when you think of a woman who is out on a day, so think of how on a day you should start lighthearted, and then along the way it kind of becomes more dressier. So that's where the night theme comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it offered everything from like something you can wear a day, something. You told me you also liked the shirt dress.
Yeah, the shirt dress with the detailing. What was that? The fabric?
Yeah, that was actually silk organza. That is actually one of our statement pieces. So this collection was also kind of inspired by how we're very into fast fashion these days. So I kind of want to bring back traditional craftsmanship. So that's the reason why you see intricate details on the statement pieces, because it's something that I think we shouldn't lose in our work. Like whether seamstresses should be appreciated of the amount of work they can put into something. So I kind of want to bring that back into the collection. Yeah.
And Larry, you design menswear, and your line is all about comfort. We've seen some of your pieces in the showroom downstairs. What can you tell us about your collection this season as well?
Previously, I did a lot. Yes, thank you so much. So previously, I did a lot of I did a collection of white. So this season we're doing a lot more colors. We explore olive colors, navies, grays, and blacks. Actually, this is the first time we actually use black in our collection, because previously we really detest black, and most we just the darkest color is like gray. Yeah. So it's a quite challenge to use black, because black when you want to layer black, it's difficult, because considering the weather we have here, and you want to have that kind of texturing layering. I mean layering in texture, in terms of texture, in terms of cuts, in terms of silhouette. So that was something that we explored this season, and yeah. So, and we also explore a lot more on basic silhouettes, but then we do like interesting cuts and stitching details, like the one I'm wearing now. I'm not sure you can zoom in, but there's like this red army of stitch across the chest. Yeah. So some of them think that it's really subtle details that I really like working with, and it's not too loud to in your face. And yeah, that's pretty much about what the season is. Yeah. Thank you.
Valerie, apart from fitness, you're also very involved in fashion nowadays, and we love what you're wearing. How can you wear fabrics and layer in Singapore? Because this is something of an art form. Like the designers here struggle with finding the fabrics to layer. What is the secret, you'd say, to getting it right?
the secret definitely has to be finding the right kind of materials. And I think, like Pauline was saying, you need to find good materials, and we cannot forget the craftsmanship. But then again, even though it's really hot and humid outside in Singapore, it's sub-zero degrees in all the malls and in offices. So I think, think about having good quality material when you're on the streets, but indoors, think about layering, having nice scarves or jackets, and I think that's really the secret to it.
Now we're going to talk a little about Digital Fashion Week and everybody's involvement here, because all of you actually cover all the spectrum of the people. So we start with Sheena. So how do you feel your involvement at Digital Fashion Week going so far?
It's amazing. Yesterday I got to open Mashup and I got to do some of the last sale shows. And I've actually followed Mashup for quite a bit, and it's possibly like a dream come true that I finally get to work for them.
Yeah, I think they loved the looks on you. They were so you, weren't they?
Yeah, it's quirky. It's like me. A lot of designers here actually feel just screaming my name, basically.
You're like the perfect model. Today, you're actually wearing one of our labels. You're wearing Linda Hausiesa. How do you find your look today?
I love it. It's so colorful. It's sporty, but also comfy. And comfort is definitely key when it comes to how I pick my outfits.
I think you are definitely a yes, a girl. Pauline, you and Thomas Wee are the only people, apart from me and Yvette probably, who have been involved in Digital Fashion Week since day one. This is your third year, your third show. So how do you see your involvement, and how do you see the event has progressed so far?
I think when DFW first started out, I think it was because it was new, so we didn't really, as much as we could, get more exposure out of it, because it was the beginning of how we could expose our brand locally, but yet to the international market. So I think as the DFW has the digital platform, I think it's something that local homegrown brands need a lot, because I think it's where the international market and consumers can see what we have in Singapore, because we're so small, and I think people are still getting to know us. People might not even know where Singapore is. So with this, they might just think that we're in China. Yeah. So I think in a way, it's good that they kind of get to know a bit. Okay, what do Singapore designers do? And I think the fantastic thing is that there is no specific style or trend or silhouette that Singapore designers have. We're pretty diverse. It could probably be the background that we're in, which I think is something that we need to shout out to the world. Yeah.
And your label has progressed as well. Other than the style, we've seen much more complex collection now than from your first season. But also, you were telling me your bigger market is actually outside Singapore these days.
Yeah, so now you might see that we have progressed a lot from the first season. Actually, for me, we're just bringing back our signature pieces, because when we first started out, this is what we always do, but because we were retailing locally and the local market is very small, and somehow along the way, now that I'm doing wholesale export, I kind of find a bigger market out there that can, I should say, more responsive to what I do. Yeah, which is what I really need, because after all, fashion is a business. So now we're just currently stocking and exporting to New York. Yeah.
That sounds great. And Larry, your involvement in Digital Fashion Week this year is just about the showroom. What does it add to you as a designer, and what do you gain from it?
Sorry, what's the question again? What?
You are participating. It's okay. You are participating in the event, but you don't have your show. It's in the showroom. But how does that add to your brand? What do you gain from it, from showing your stuff downstairs?
Thank you. I think it has we've gained a lot of interesting, because we're showing the next collection, and then people can actually come to the space here and attend fashion shows and look at clothes as well. So that value adds to the whole purpose of having this Digital Fashion Week, I think, and people can actually, I think people really like to feel the clothes, and we're also on Inverted Edge as well, so which is the online digital platform that we're selling on. So the people we're targeting online people, and we're also targeting people who like to see clothes in real. And they can come to this event and feel the materials and see how the stitching goes, see interesting details that might be missed out in online digital camera shots, for instance. So I think that's important in it's part of fashion. It's about exploring not just what looks good, but what texturally feels good as well. Yeah. So I guess when you put things all together in real, it's very different from digital. It's just different. Yeah. Yeah.
And Valerie, you are one of the Digital Fashion Week insiders, one of the Singaporean ones. What do you think your involvement brings to the table, and why did you take the offer up?
I think I was explaining earlier, for me, it's quite interesting because last year I walked some of the shows, and this year I'm part of the DFW Insiders, being front row. So I'm very proud that our third year running, DFW has done an amazing job with bringing more designers. And this year we have an international group of DFW Insiders from Philippines, from like Australia, Taiwan, China. So just as Pauline was saying, we want people all over the world to see the designs and what Singaporean designers have to offer. And I think even just hearing the feedback from the DFW insiders this year, some of them were like, where can we buy the stuff now? They really want to look at the things. And just as Larry was saying, you need to be able to see the textures, understand what it is. And then, online it's great, you can buy stuff, but you still need to understand, especially for fashionistas, you really understand the quality. And that's what we want at this fashion show.
So good to have you here. Sheena, again. Well, you're from Malaysia, but at the moment you're based in London. Do you have any exposure with the new London designers?
I've been working with a lot of up-and-coming designers, obviously. There's a girl I really like, Lisa King London, and I just shot for her scarf campaign. And it's all digital print, and she's a textile designer. I'm really excited for that to come out. It's up and coming.
So how do you feel the designers you've seen so far in Singapore differ from those in London?
I don't think they differ at all. I think everyone is trying to find, their voice and trying to sell and using as many platforms as possible. Like, you think models have to go through castings, designers do too. They're also waiting for that one chance where they get spotted and to be discovered as well. So we're all the same.
And who would you like to shoot for or work for, like your ultimate designer?
Here in Singapore?
Anywhere. If you have a local and international, if you want, we can have one each.
Okay.
Be diplomatic.
I do love Pauline's stuff. I love Yesa. I love Mashup. I do think those two brands really scream my name. I do believe that I really suit those brands. So if I could cross my fingers, have a collaboration, I wouldn't mind at all.
Oh, that sounds good. We're gonna tell them. And internationally wise, like what would you like in your career to do?
I just want to try out the European Fashion Week, and we'll see how far that goes. That's where I'm going next season.
Looking forward to see you walking. Yes, we'll notice you with your hair, I think, unless they change it for you. Pauline, back to you. So this year, have you seen any of the shows?
Not yet actually, because we were really like crazy preparing for the show. So I'm hoping that when I get back, I can really like watch online again, look at the videos again and see look at what all the designers are doing, because I think we all work so hard for our show. I think it's only fair that like local homegrown brands like us support them as well. Yeah.
I think you guys have been, like, all the designers have been very supportive of each other, which is really nice to see.
We have to, because we're so small, the community is so small, so we only have each other. So I think that's something that we have to hold on to.
That's really nice. We're going to open the floor now to get some questions from our bloggers. We have Anita and we have Noella. Hello. Hi, girls. I'll start with Anita. If you unmute yourself, please. And would you like to ask any questions to our guests?
Yes. Thank you, Rana. Hi, Pauline. I have a question for you. But first of all, it's a genuine pleasure speaking with you. Yeah. I understand that you
I can't
often
hear it.
as one of the source of your inspiration. Get materials from various backgrounds and technology. So my question is, what is the most unique inspiration that you found at the library that even surprised you?
You got. She
I'm
okay.
sorry, I
I'll,
can't hear you.
she said she understands that you go to the library to get inspiration. What was the most unusual inspiration you got from there? Something that even surprised you?
Um, I think like when it comes to looking for inspiration, what always happens is that because I'm a very visual person, so anything that intrigues me, whether it is an image or it could be even when I travel. So I wouldn't exactly say that I got all my inspiration from books because that would be really limited. Because as much as you're able to find a lot of inspiration, a lot of insights, a lot of like interesting information that you can have that you have never came across. But I think it's always good that we go out and see, yeah, go out and see the world and see what is it exactly that intrigues us, because everyone have got this different sensibility to pick out anything that's intriguing to them. So um yeah, so inspiration wise, I wouldn't I can't quite put like a place or like how I find my inspiration, but it's just something that, and especially because I'm someone who's very extreme, I'm attracted to different opposite ends. So it can be something that's very complex, complicated, and something that's very minimalist at the same time. So, and because of this, I tend to want to combine or rather blend these two different elements together. Yeah.
Thank you. Is Noella on? I think she cut off. Anita, do you have any other questions to our guests?
Yes, I have. I have a question for Sheena. Hi, Sheena.
Hi.
I must start off by saying many congratulations. It must have been a great
Thank
ride.
you.
So, for the past few months, you graced the Office Bazaar. You stay in London and be part of the Fashion Week. So, what are the top three in your bucket list as a model? What else do you want to go? And who else do you want to model for? And lastly, what drives you forward?
Whoa.
Too many questions in one.
What
I
was
can
that?
repeat them.
Okay.
She said for the past few months you graced the cover of Hafiz Bazaar and you study in London and you've been part of London Fashion Week. I think the first thing is the top three in your bucket list as a model. Where else you want to go? Who else you want to model for? And what drives you forward?
So my top three things in my bucket list, I think I've actually already achieved. First off, I really wanted to get a cover with a really good magazine, and yeah, I got Harper's Bazaar, and I got to go to London as well, and that's definitely a dream come true. So my final one, possibly the last one that I haven't achieved, is maybe I would really, really like to work with the legendary Marc Jacobs, and that is the number one thing left on my bucket list.
I can see you as a Marc Jacobs girl as well. Where else you want to go?
Where else would I want to go? So I'm looking forward to the rest of Europe, definitely. I love Paris. Come on, which girl doesn't? I would love to go to Milan, and we'll see about the rest of that.
And who do you want to model for? I think you answered
Oh
that as
yeah,
well.
that would be Marc Jacobs, definitely.
And what drives you forward?
What drives me forward is my pretty clothes. No, definitely my family. They are so supportive and they have given me so many chances to fail. And it's only because I have had these allowances that, to fail and keep trying and trying and trying that I managed to get as far as I did. And without them, I would not be here, definitely. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Thank you, Anita. I think Noella is offline, waiting for her. We can just continue our chat. Valerie, you still here? I wanted to ask you. You've done modeling. You've won Miss Singapore, and now you're blogging, and also you have some other plans. So, how do you manage, and what's next for you?
How do I manage? Yeah, I never sleep. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's just the love for fashion that, once you have a passion, you enjoy it, it never becomes a job. So for me, working in fashion, coming for events like this, everyone's so, charged up, energized, and it's just amazing to see so much creativity all in one place. And then especially with having, people from all over the world now, you get to have sense of all the different types of styles, different personalities. I think that's great. And, we have famous people like Sheena, Jordan is here, and then we had Carmen. So I think that is what really, really motivates me and keeps me going. What's next for me? Next year, I may have some collaborations coming up, so I'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, so more in the beauty and beauty line, I guess, for that one.
We'll be looking forward to that. Larry, what would you say is the biggest challenge in dressing Singaporean men? Because we all know about the shorts and t-shirt and flip-flops uniform. What are you doing to change that?
Well, I'm doing my every bit to, I guess, to adopt to adopt a same silhouette, but do little subtle changes in terms of technical cuts, and because I do a lot of cut and sew, so the shoulder seam could be slightly off. I could adopt an interesting detail on for the waist, or etc. etc. So I guess if you want to look at local scene, I guess you really have to be safe. But there are guys who are accepting more changes these days. We see a lot more different styles these days. Like we don't see as much as tank tops and berms these days as maybe like 5 years ago, I think. So we see guys with they can wear like longer silhouettes. They are able to wear mesh tank with to adopt a very, very golf look, for instance, on the streets. And I guess we were slowly adopting the different styles. So I guess that's something positive and something to look forward to. And yeah, except that we can't change the weather here, I guess that's that's sad. Yeah.
Please keep doing what you're doing, Larry. Hopefully we see some change. And Pauline, what's next for you after Digital Fashion Week?
Well, after this, we're actually, as much as we have already finished the collection, but I'm actually really looking forward to working on the next collection. Yeah, so for now, I think I really just want to take time to, because I think like for the past few months, we've been really stretched out over because of the collection. So I think I really want to spend more time with my family and friends for now. Yeah.
That's a good plan. How about you?
It's all very new to me and it's kicking off, so I'll be going back to Europe soon, and I'll try my best in the market there, and we'll see how far I go as well.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much. I think everybody's contribution to this event has made it a success so far. And congratulations for your show again. Yes, of course, deserves an applause. Thank you, everyone, and keep watching because we'll be back with another Google Plus Hangout later. Bye.